Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. This is the Sunday, is this the 23rd or?
Yes.
23rd. The 23rd of April, 2017, and this is our Sunday Guides to Better Living class with a focus on, let's call it behaviorism, or behaviorism in the Islamic movement. We'll blend that in with several things. First, we want to talk a little bit, just a minute, about nonviolent resistance. That was the Women March. Yesterday, that was the Science March. There are struggles going on all over the world by psychiatrists are meeting, sociologists are meeting, technical earth science. Everyone is meeting today, and during this period, everyone is talking about the same subject. That is, where the world is now and where we want it to be. Where we want it to be will not be where it should be if we leave it up to the people who are running things today. It all really relates to that subject. So this subject of nonviolent resistance that we've been dealing with, it means that we not only got to deal with the system more by not participating in it, but we want to deal with it more by an alternative system, by instituting our own solution-based activities. And that would include from our letters to the churches, especially the churches, the Masjid, the people that have the ability. They have the people, they have the wealth, and they have the ability to help deal with all of these subjects related to homelessness, drugs, overdoses, broken families, all of these things that are a plague on the society now. It has to be solved by huge institutions. We're doing two things at the same time. We're going back in history and we're going forward into the future. Because in the old days, the government was the king. He just taxed you, but there was no social safety net, no program except in Islam. So that was nothing. The old folks was taken care of by the young people. And if a family was in Africa, they lived on a little compound. Everybody in the little compound was brothers, sisters, friends, and everything, and you just put another house right there, and the tribe grew. But you had, when the people got old, they couldn't go around hunting anymore, so they got a place of honor in the tribe. And if you were young, you could play all day, and you didn't have to do no whole lot of work. But when it kicked in, it kicked in pretty serious. So that was a social network was ingrained in the society. That old people automatically didn't have to work, they was too old. And it was included in a position of honor, because in those days, if you lived past a certain amount of years, the older you got, the more respect you got. Just to be able to put up with all this environmental circumstances and not get ate up by something, not falling off a cliff, or not, you know what I mean, dying of a little infection. You know, you was pretty people envied that. So our social network relates to our nonviolent resistance. Actually means, okay, you're the government, fine. You ain't gonna do right, so we ain't gonna bother with you. We've been voting for all these years and it don't change nothing. So we're gonna fix the problem ourselves. Right? We're going to fix the problem ourselves. Right? And when the people start doing that, it'll make the government look stupid. But the people are going to feel better You know, when you do charity type, when you help other people, I don't care, even if you were Scrooge, you feel better. People don't know that. They think, man, I got 10 bags. If I give 3 or 4 away, the niggas gonna laugh at me, and then I ain't got less for myself. They don't know when people are really in need and you are able to help them, that makes you feel better. Not only feeling better, but there's a discussion in some of the writings about luck. It actually comes from the old historical account of, I don't know if y'all ever heard the richest man in Babylon. Yeah, the richest man. I first heard that man, it's a long time ago, almost 50 years. Well, 45 years ago. And then now I have the book, and you can listen to it on. So they're having a discussion in Babylon at this time. And every evening, since they didn't have like day-to-day schools, but they had a pavilion where you could go, and every night there was some discussions on all subjects. And there was one room where this guy, Arcad, the one that's supposed to be, and he would be the main speaker. So one night, the guy comes in and he says, well, he says, Arcad said, what should be the subject tonight? So one guy was feeling a little funny, but he said, recently I found a purse with a substantial amount of wealth. So I want to talk about the subject of luck. How to increase luck. You know what I mean? How to make it systematic. Now see, look, the keys to success. This is the Think and Grow Rich book. This stuff is good. I don't care. I'm glad. I used to say I wish I would have read this in the early years, but there's a systematic way to do da-da-da-da-da. It would have been helpful. But I don't feel that way in the last 2 decades, because if you know, hadith on that, if I would have did something different, then I wouldn't be here now. So this is where, you know, so I'm glad I didn't run it. But anyway, the subject was on luck. How can we increase our luck? And so they said, is there anyone else would like to share something on luck? This is, well, there was a young guy. All these guys are pretty wealthy, you know, a younger guy. He says, well, I was down at mainly the gambling house. You know, this is, and how was your luck? Did it turn up blue most of the time? When you roll the cubes, they talk about dice, I guess. Did it come up this color, or did the house win and it turned up red most of the time? He said, well, that's what it turned up. He says, and anybody else on luck, how did they? I didn't even get into it, but there's a thing. Pete Rose, they asked him something about luck. He said, yeah, the more I go out and train, the luckier I get. So we feel the same way. We feel very, very lucky. Because everything seems to be falling in the lap, or you're driving down the street and there's a piece of it in the road or something, and you just pick it up, put it in the trunk. Something is going on. Did anybody see that talk in South Africa recently? The one that was Salatul Juma, and I was talking about drugs. Well, anyway, it's a good one on there. And I say that based on the surah. I say I'm the luckiest, I feel I'm the luckiest man in the world. I feel very lucky. But according to the Qurans, you know, those are lucky. For you, You go through all this, call people to Allah, work righteously, that, equalize and everything, and then, you know what I mean, people used to hate you, you're going to be good friends, and all y'all going to have a good time. This is only for the people who are fortunate. The first dictionary meaning is fortunate. The second dictionary meaning is lucky. And some translations use the word fortune, and some use the translated word luck, which are both correct. So, when we was talking about As-Sabiqun the other day in Juma, and it talked about, and he turned without knowing why, or he did certain, this stuff happens all the time. So we can call it fortune or luck. Every time some big stick is coming at your head, and it would, you'd have knots, you'd see stars, everything. It might kill you. Something happened, you just move over here or move over there, or somebody call you. It's like Sheikh Sayyid Hussein Fatlaza back in '83, when they was trying to kill some of the, he was the big alim in Lebanon. And they was saying he was so closely related to Hezbollah and all that. When he came out of Juma, they had a big blast that go off and it killed a whole lot of people. It was meant for him. But when he came out, it was a sister waiting for him, and she said, "Yeah, Sheikh, da 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 da." She talked to him for a few seconds, or however long he was supposed to be there. The bomb went off and it didn't kill him. In fact, he didn't get injured at all. Okay, now a lot of people would call that luck. We call it good fortune. Now, the luck that we have, okay, now I'm going back 60 years, 50 years of personal experience. If this is 2017, let's go back from 1967 on up. Just that. That's 50 years back. Being realistic, we're joining the African American movement, well, civil rights, black nationalism, black power, black liberation, on into Islam. First of all, the survival rate for those activities is very low. Very, very low. And the survival rate with people that remain active, okay, Lewis was doing that time, John, whatever his name is, but he was a stupid Negro. The man is in the Congress. And when they say the Muslims did this, the Muslims did that, he totally forget what the FBI did to him and Dr. King them and all the other brothers. He don't remember none of that. So it's as though he's still physically alive and his body pumping blood from one place, but it ain't nothing going around in his brain or his morality. Why? Because y'all remember the Pettis Bridge? They knocked the fat off his head. They knocked all the brains out of that man as he was dead. He ain't thought right since. Okay, so to go through all of that, to go through all of those, each stage after another, and when every week or every day almost is another episode, is a noteworthy episode, right? Then you have to feel that it has to be a reason for this. There has to be a reason for this. Now, I got a friend, and He's still over in Africa now, and he heads up a nice institution over there. We were in Algeria together. We also met up in East Africa, and, you know, I passed on some things and tried to help out. He's very famous. I happen to be in a prison right next to where he's from, 35 miles away. And I was a member of the Nation of Islam at that time, semi-official. So all the brothers from his city happened to be good friends of mine. So they would have articles from time to time about this person in the newspaper. And I said, yeah, they had an article about so-and-so. And at that time, everybody knew each other. So my friends was the toughest guys in that town. So they say, well, so-and-so was, they did use the word like love pump, a weakling. I snatched something from him, I did this, you know, but in the news, his big monster Black Panther. Yeah. I mean, but that don't change my feeling about the person, but that's just what those guys say. Not what the newspaper people say. Not what the churchgoers and all that. But the real down-to-earth Negroes that know this, okay. So I sent some tapes or CDs overseas, and man, I got a call just before Juma. They loved them, especially up until about that Sudanese embassy. That was shown to all, and that was a while back, as 2004. But the next batch I sent was all about what we talk about now. He haven't called me since. Or nothing. You know why? Because he could see this nigga picked up on everything. So he knows, I'm just imagining, and not when the family come over here to raise money, they never talk to me, that's not important. And when they come, they can talk with Najee and them and everybody. So, after listening to a few of these CDs from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, I don't hear nothing else. But I was getting messages, please send me more. Because the game, I was just remembering, just yesterday I said, remember in Marcus Garvey's, that thing on Marcus Garvey? When he gets kicked out of the U.S., he goes back to Jamaica. The little kids are following him around and throwing rocks at him and teasing him.
Right.
Okay. My same friend I was just telling you about, when I visited him in East Africa and dropped off a heavy package, somewhere around 73. And I talked about, we talked about Colombia and all of that, and so the brother said that he had spent a little time in California. He said, Colombians, they kind of like Mexicans, aren't they? So yeah, there's some of this Latin America, the language, some of the culture is close. He didn't like Mexicans, and so I said, man, I love it in Colombia. I like the people, I like everything. When I got back to Colombia, the kids, instead of following me and, they was teasing me. Just like a lot of people would watch Marcus Garvey and they wouldn't know. They didn't want me in Colombia anymore, so they wanted me to dislike the people. And I'm putting little tenders and cutie pies next to you. When there was some agents on the plane with me, I would be very friendly with them, and oh, here's a white man, why don't we get a hotel together and say, why sure. Because I know he's the police, and I'm going to try to cooperate as much as possible so y'all can relax. And if y'all want to steer me to the connections, it'll be fine. You know what I mean? But Islam. So anyway, the brother, when I told him how much I liked the people of Colombia, I'm telling you, when I got back, the kids, instead of following me and, you know, wanting me to do something and admiring how I was built and all of that, they was kind of teasing me. And another time, when I was just going back there to visit, it's not a crime, but the white man didn't know probably why I was there. He has one of the most beautiful little women right there. So this tender was, you know, she was from Australia, but one of her parents was Aborigine, probably the mother. This was a fine young lady. And so automatically she's the police. I mean, if somebody just gotta be traveling around me, sure. Not only her, man, one of the most beautiful little Mexican women you ever seen. I'm catching the bus going down somewhere, and who's sitting next to me? A pretty young lady, and so we're going to talk all the way we're going. Maybe they want to drag you off where you're going. Now, they do that all the time. They know it works with other niggas, why wouldn't it work with this one? Anyway, so when I go back to Colombia, I tell her at that time, I said, well, you know, I know a little bit about Colombia, not a lot. But this is Sunday. I said, let's go for a little pilgrimage up Montserrat. Montserrat is a monastery at the top of the mountain. Bogota has two peaks. One has a statue of Christ, you know, like in Rio de Janeiro, and the other one has a monastery. And people come and they scratch and climb up that mountain for a pilgrimage. So as we was going, the Colombians was, this is later, I'm just going for a visit, and they done saw the movie about Kunta Kinte. They're trying to make me feel uncomfortable because they're not saying it right. And anyway, so this is supposed to embarrass me with the young lady, and I'm supposed to be embarrassed. Okay, that stuff worked with Marcus Garvey. He lives in Jamaica, and he goes, they'll use the littlest and the dumbest stuff you can imagine. This is where experience come in. I'm gonna try to speed up. Okay, so to show social work, social responsibility, we find it in Quran and in the Bible. It is the original religion of the mission of religion is the social work. Remember, Jesus came to heal the sick, raise the dead, and cast out devils. So he came to deal with psychological problems, emotional problems, right, and all the problems that existed, and healing and medicine and all of those things. Okay, we'll talk about fundraising left. Now, the things that we are doing and have done and hope to do, especially from now going forward, we don't have any aid, we don't have any assistance. We haven't had any income in I don't know how long. And the government constantly works at trying to do away with it. And I'll mention that before close. So we're going to automatically start at what we call it, whatever we call it, Imam Musa support network. That means people that watch these, they should get together somehow and realize whatever we're doing, if you think it's right, if you think it's good, then support it. Because the job that we are doing is not only is not being done by anybody else, nobody's even thinking about it. Nobody's even talking about it. Okay, so now for Oakland. We have a mission, we have a vision for Oakland, and so we'll talk about the mission, about the goals, what we want to do in Oakland. We're not going to talk about the knick-knack that's been going on, not too much, maybe a little bit, but remember this psychological stuff. In 1983, we was having a meeting with the so-called Muslims at the time. Now, we just opened up the Masjid. Well, we were still in the state of remodeling, but we used it. And now, we bought the building in 81, and by 82 early, they had Muslims coming from around the country and settling in Oakland and settling on the other side of town. One group, Ali Abdul-Malik, came from Baitul-Din. Baitul-Din was this place in Blanco, Texas, and it was, have anybody ever heard of Sheikh Fadlala? Okay, he was a big sheikh in those days, and he had pretty big money. He was technically a Shia sheikh. Baitul-Din was a place all paid for, all taken care of, where you could go in Blanco, Texas. It was kind of Sufistic. In fact, I asked a Negro that was there. Now you gotta remember, if he got a free place to come, the government gonna load it up with a whole bunch. Well, let's say there's 100 people there, maybe he might have 2 or 3 people that's real. The rest gonna be the police. To prove it, this crew, Ali Abdul-Malik came there. And he had a whole bunch of welfare girls, and he had everything. And technically, he was running the place, but the sheikh was the figurehead. He was paying for everything, doing all that, Pretty soon, somebody dies in the swimming pool. Maybe it was a good guy that found out what was going on, and they drowned him. Anyway, that crew, the whole crew en masse, packed up and came to Oakland. Oakland was such a really good place. The Sunnis, the Shias, us and the Shia community, we was working in harmony. The government hated that. So now these guys, when they came, I said, oh, you came from Baitul-Din. I said, what was your sheikh? He said, he's a Sufi, Sunni, Shia sheikh. I said, yes, that's real nice there. So that was clear to me that they could roll the dice out of any hand, and they're going to pop up 7 or 11 every time. Because, you know what I mean, it's just, you know. So they were there to break us up with the Iranians. Now remember, all the kids have learned Quranic recitation, and they've learned some Shia things that would be very appealing. It would melt the heart of the Iranians. Of course, these were smart Iranians, and they didn't trust them. So it didn't work. But in the meantime, they would all come to the Masjid sometime on there, doing a little work. And at that time, if the government can isolate you and cut you off in your own city, you know what he can do if you cut off both sides. So anyway, they would come, and there'd be the whole crew, and they would be trying to start little stuff, you know what I mean, that they were more advanced than we was, all kind of dumb stuff, which none of it worked, you know. But I was me by myself dealing with all these crews. Then there's another Suleiman crew. They're poorish like Negroes, and they settle on the other side of town. What I want to get to is a little meeting we had. And so the Negroes are saying, yeah, well, we go there and we'll move on them, da, 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 da. And that's what they thought the average person would do. I said, they can do anything they want. Over there, anyway, it ain't like, don't nobody own no, we gotta do. So, what I knew was this right here. Number one, if we went over there to move on, the newspaper gonna say, radical group attacks another radical group. Everybody gets away except the Imam of one group was found dead. Of course he's gonna be all them niggas. If I trusted them dumb niggas, oh no. And they done got rid of both of my sons from the Masjid too. I'm just trying to tell you, we have to be it's fortune and luck, but this luck is earned, worked for type of luck. So there is such thing as fortune, but it's preceded by outlining, working righteous deeds, doing such and such and such. Then you get something, it's so nice, it seems like you're lucky. But it's just like that top ball player, you say, yeah, the more I go pitching practice or batting practice, the luckier I get. Right? This is the way we feel about this deen. The more we function, the more we practice it, the more we implement real Islam, it looks like luck. Why? Because you're dealing with the whole world that they have out there. That's what we're dealing with. That's what we want people in Oakland to realize. The other thing about that 83 meeting, it set the stage from then on. Because I got a tape recorder there. Basically, nobody can see it. And so, now they're going to try to run me crazy. So, click, 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 click. Does anybody hear that? No, all of them. Okay, we're going with item. Click, 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 click. Does anybody hear that? No. I said, well, let me pull out my tape recorder and run it back a little bit. And the tape, I said, click, click, click. I said, nobody heard it but me and the tape recorder. I'll be damned. I mean, it's like Allah just showing you everybody, you are right. Everybody you dealing with is police. That's 83. I mean, everybody, nobody can hear it.